This message does not arrive with urgency or pressure. It arrives softly, like a gentle hand on your shoulder, inviting you to slow down for just a moment. In a world that constantly asks you to move faster, think harder, and react quicker, this is a reminder that stillness is not weakness. Stillness is where clarity begins. If you have found yourself carrying questions without answers, or emotions you cannot fully name, know that this moment is meant to help you breathe again. Archangel Michael speaks not to disturb your peace, but to restore it. There are times when life becomes noisy not because something is wrong, but because you are growing. Growth often feels like confusion before it becomes understanding. You may have been replaying certain thoughts in your mind, wondering why they keep returning. Those thoughts are not here to trouble you. They are asking to be understood, not fought. Take a slow breath now. Let your shoulders relax. Nothing is required from you in this moment. You do not need to decide anything, fix anything, or prove anything. This message is an invitation to observe your inner world without judgment. When you stop resisting your thoughts, they begin to soften. When you stop rushing your emotions, they start to make sense. You have been stronger than you realize. Quiet strength does not announce itself. It shows up in the way you keep going even when motivation fades, in the way you remain kind even when you are tired, and in the way you search for meaning instead of giving up. If you have felt unseen or misunderstood lately, understand this: being deeply reflective often means walking a path that others cannot immediately recognize. There is wisdom forming within you right now. Wisdom does not shout, it whispers. It comes through small realizations, gentle shifts in perspective, and moments of calm awareness. When you allow yourself to pause, you create space for insight. When you listen without fear, you begin to hear what truly matters. This is also a reminder that not every situation requires a reaction. Some moments ask only for understanding. Some questions answer themselves when you stop forcing them. Trust that clarity unfolds naturally when you are patient with yourself. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to learn what comes next. As you continue with your day, carry this calm with you. Let your actions come from awareness rather than urgency. Let your words come from understanding rather than impulse. And when the world feels loud again, remember that you can always return to this quiet place within yourself. This message was not sent to change who you are. It was sent to remind you of who you already are when you are at peace. This part continues in the same gentle flow, without urgency or pressure, inviting you to remain present with yourself a little longer. There is no demand being placed on you here. This space exists simply so you can listen inwardly and allow understanding to unfold at its own pace. Archangel Michael speaks to you now not as a command, but as reassurance. There are moments in life when silence itself becomes guidance. You may have noticed that when you finally slow down, the answers you were chasing begin to appear in subtle ways. They do not arrive loudly. They come as realizations, gentle shifts in how you see yourself and the world around you. You have been carrying more than you let others see. Much of it lives quietly inside your thoughts. Responsibilities, expectations, memories, and questions often overlap until it feels difficult to separate one feeling from another. This is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you care deeply and think deeply. Depth often brings complexity, and complexity asks for patience. In this moment, allow yourself to recognize how far you have come. Not every step you took was visible. Some of the most important progress happened internally, in moments when you chose restraint over reaction, understanding over anger, and reflection over escape. These choices matter more than you realize. They shape your inner character, which eventually shapes your outer life. There is also something important to understand about uncertainty. Uncertainty does not mean you are lost. Often, it means you are standing between what was and what is becoming. This space can feel uncomfortable because it lacks clear edges, but it is also full of potential. When you resist uncertainty, it grows louder. When you accept it calmly, it begins to guide you. You may have felt a quiet pull to change certain habits, patterns, or ways of thinking. This pull is not meant to overwhelm you. It is simply awareness awakening. Awareness does not demand immediate action. It first asks you to notice. When you notice without judgment, change becomes natural rather than forced. Take a moment to consider how you speak to yourself internally. Your inner voice has power. If it is constantly harsh, it drains you. If it is patient and understanding, it strengthens you. This message reminds you that you are allowed to be a work in progress. Growth does not require perfection. It requires honesty and gentleness. There are also relationships in your life that may feel confusing right now. Some connections feel close yet distant at the same time. Others may have changed without clear explanation. Not every shift needs immediate interpretation. People grow at different speeds and in different directions. Sometimes distance creates clarity rather than loss. Trust that what aligns with your inner peace will remain meaningful, and what does not will quietly fall away. You are not meant to carry everything alone. Even moments of solitude are not the same as isolation when you are connected to your inner strength. Solitude can become a place of restoration when you allow it to be. In stillness, you hear yourself more clearly. In clarity, you regain confidence without needing validation. This is also a reminder that calm does not mean nothing is happening. Calm often means things are aligning beneath the surface. Seeds grow in silence long before they break through the soil. In the same way, internal shifts often happen before external changes appear. Trust the timing of your life without comparing it to others. As this message continues, let it settle gently. There is nothing you need to rush toward and nothing you need to escape from. Simply remain open. Reflection is not about dwelling on the past, it is about understanding it well enough to move forward without carrying unnecessary weight. You are learning to listen to yourself in a deeper way. That skill will guide you more reliably than constant noise or outside opinions. When you return to your day, do so with a softer pace. Let awareness lead instead of urgency. Let understanding guide instead of fear. This part exists to remind you that calm is not the absence of movement. It is the presence of trust, this part goes deeper into understanding your inner journey, without urgency, without pressure, and without forcing belief. It is written to slow the mind, soften the heart, and help the listener stay connected for a longer time through reflection rather than excitement. Let the words flow naturally, without rushing to the end. Archangel Michael continues to speak not as a voice outside you, but as a reminder of what already lives within you. There is a strength inside you that has carried you through moments you once believed you would never survive. You may not always recognize it, because true strength often feels quiet, steady, and ordinary while it is happening. Only later do you realize how much courage it required. You have lived through seasons where nothing made sense, where effort did not bring immediate results, and where patience felt heavier than action. Those seasons were not wasted. They shaped your discernment. They taught you when to hold on and when to let go. They trained your heart to recognize depth instead of surface-level comfort. Even the confusion had purpose. There are thoughts that return to you repeatedly, especially in quiet moments. They are not there to disturb you. They are asking to be understood rather than pushed away. When you avoid certain thoughts, they grow louder. When you observe them calmly, they soften. Understanding begins the moment you stop judging your own inner experience. You may sometimes wonder why you feel different from others, why loud environments drain you, or why you prefer meaning over entertainment. This does not make you distant or disconnected. It means your awareness is tuned inward. People like this often feel deeply, think deeply, and question deeply. They are not meant to rush through life. They are meant to understand it. There is also a lesson unfolding around trust. Trust does not mean blind belief. It means allowing life to move without constant resistance. When you try to control every outcome, tension builds. When you allow space for unfolding, clarity follows. Trust is not passive, it is an active choice to remain open even when answers are incomplete. You are learning that not every emotion requires a reaction. Some emotions simply need acknowledgement. When you sit with a feeling without trying to fix it, you discover its message. Anger often hides unmet needs. Sadness often points to care and attachment. Fear often signals transition. None of these emotions are enemies. They are signals. There may also be a quiet grief you carry, not always tied to a specific loss, but to unrealized expectations. Dreams that changed. Paths that closed. Versions of yourself that no longer fit. This grief does not need to be dramatic to be real. Honoring it allows you to move forward lighter rather than hardened. You are not late in life. You are not behind. Growth does not follow a universal timeline. Some people bloom early and stabilize later. Others grow slowly and deeply. Your path favors depth over speed. This means your understanding, once formed, becomes unshakable. What you build now will last because it is rooted in awareness. Notice how your priorities have shifted. Things that once felt important may now feel empty. This is not loss. This is refinement. When the noise fades, truth becomes audible. You are becoming more selective with your energy, your attention, and your time. This is a sign of maturity, not withdrawal. There is also something important about rest. Rest is not quitting. Rest is integration. Without rest, experiences remain scattered. With rest, they turn into wisdom. Allow yourself moments of stillness without guilt. Stillness is where understanding consolidates. As this message unfolds, let it remind you that peace is not something you chase. Peace emerges when resistance decreases. When you stop fighting who you are and where you are, clarity naturally arrives. You do not need to become someone else to move forward. You only need to become more honest with yourself. You are being guided toward a calmer way of living, not because life will become effortless, but because you are becoming more grounded. Grounded people are not free from challenges. They are free from unnecessary inner chaos. This difference changes everything. Continue listening, not just to these words, but to the quiet intelligence inside you. That inner guidance grows clearer the more you respect it. This part exists to deepen your connection with that awareness, so you remain engaged not because of fear or urgency, but because something within you recognizes truth when it is spoken. This is not the end of understanding. It is a deeper beginning. This final part is meant to settle gently within you. There is no rush here, no urgency, and no pressure to reach a conclusion. These words are designed to slow the listener's inner pace, allowing thoughts to land fully, so meaning can grow naturally instead of being forced. Archangel Michael speaks here not as an external authority, but as a symbol of steady guidance, reminding you that clarity often arrives when the mind becomes quiet enough to receive it. Life has been teaching you patience in subtle ways, not by stopping movement, but by changing your relationship with time itself. You are learning that not everything meaningful arrives quickly, and not everything slow is delayed. There is a deeper awareness forming within you now. You may notice that situations which once triggered anxiety no longer shake you in the same way. This is not because problems have disappeared, but because your inner foundation has strengthened. Stability does not come from controlling life, but from understanding yourself within it. This understanding grows quietly, often unnoticed, until one day you realize you are responding differently than before. You are also beginning to see how much energy you once spent trying to explain yourself, justify your choices, or seek validation from people who could never truly see you. That phase is ending. Not because you no longer care, but because you are learning discernment. You are realizing that not everyone needs access to your inner world. Privacy is not secrecy, it is self-respect. There is a calm responsibility unfolding in you as well. When awareness increases, so does responsibility, not to others, but to yourself. You are becoming more careful with what you allow into your mind. The content you consume, the conversations you engage in, and the environments you remain in now affect you more deeply. This sensitivity is not weakness. It is refinement. At times, you may feel moments of loneliness even when surrounded by people. This does not mean something is wrong. Often, it means your inner world has expanded faster than your outer environment. Growth can feel isolating before it feels empowering. With time, alignment follows, and connections that resonate naturally find their way to you. You are also learning that faith does not mean certainty about outcomes. Faith means trust in direction. Even when the destination is unclear, there is a quiet knowing that you are not moving aimlessly. Each experience, pleasant or uncomfortable, is shaping your understanding of what truly matters to you. This understanding cannot be rushed or borrowed from others. Notice how your intuition has become more present. Small signals guide your decisions now. A pause before reacting. A hesitation before committing. A calm yes instead of an anxious one. These subtle moments are not coincidences. They are signs of alignment between thought, emotion, and awareness. The more you honor these signals, the clearer they become. There is also forgiveness unfolding, not necessarily toward others first, but toward yourself. Forgiveness for choices made without full understanding. Forgiveness for staying too long or leaving too early. Forgiveness for not knowing then what you know now. This self-forgiveness softens the past and frees the present. You are beginning to understand that peace is not the absence of difficulty. Peace is the absence of inner conflict. When your actions align with your values, and your values align with your awareness, life feels simpler even when it is not easy. This simplicity is not dullness, it is clarity. As this part continues, let it remind you that you do not need dramatic change to move forward. Small adjustments in awareness create lasting transformation. Listening more than reacting. Resting without guilt. Choosing honesty over comfort. These shifts may seem quiet, but their impact is profound. You are not meant to rush into the next phase of life. You are meant to arrive there grounded. What you carry forward now will influence not just what you achieve, but how you experience it. A calm mind experiences abundance differently than an anxious one. A clear heart recognizes meaning where a restless one sees only noise. Let this message settle slowly. You do not need to remember every word. What is meant for you will remain. What is not will fade without effort. Trust that understanding continues beyond this moment, unfolding through reflection, awareness, and lived experience. This is not an ending. It is a gentle completion. A pause where insight can root itself before the next step reveals itself naturally.